Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. Recently, one of you guys asked if we could come up with something for 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge intended for rabbits and maybe squirrels, he said. So that's what we're doing here, a 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch assembly that I would personally use for rabbits. This is a pretty good one, very simple. We are using some lead, obviously, number 5 shot here. This is just plain old, nothing fancy at all, chilled lead shot, which means it's pure lead. This was sent to us by Avid Waterfowler here on YouTube, so big thanks to him. If you're watching this, let me know if this is actually just chilled lead shot. It looks like it is and it feels like it is, but I don't know for sure. I was just assuming, although I'm 99% sure this is plain chilled 5 lead shot, not Magnum shot, which would be high antimony and tin hard lead. But besides that, we are using a Federal Top Gun hull here. This is actually one of the older ones, as you can probably tell by the writing on it, if you can actually see that. Yeah, this has the fiber base wad and a Shadot CX2000. This hull was actually one Josh had laying around his house for a long time. We fired it a few months ago, and it did pretty well. This was, he shot a squirrel with it actually. Top Gun, 3 drams of 1 1/8 ounces. Looks like this was 6 shot, 2 3/4 inch obviously, so 1 1/8 ounces, 6 shot. Yeah, pretty cool. We're using this stuff right here, Winchester Superfield, or WSF, whatever you want to refer to it as, but it is actually called Winchester Superfield. We're using 26, which should get you a speed of about 12-25 FPS. And the wad we're using is the Claybuster Federal 12S3 clone. This is a pretty good wad. We have a lot of these. It is one of our favorite straight wall target wads. You could obviously also use this for rabbits and squirrels, small game. Very good wad for that, which is what we're using it for today. So to get this started, we need 26. Get our wad in place. This one's been fired quite a few times, so as you can tell, it's a little bit crispy, but it's gonna go again. Give that some compression, make sure it's on the powder good. Now we need 1 1/4 ounces of whatever size lead you want, as long as it's appropriate for what you're trying to do with it, of course, but that all fits nice and well. Only a few pellets are actually outside the wad there, so that's handy. This has an 8-point crimp, so front station of the reload all. Might need a little bit more on that actually, so let's give it a little bit more. That looks more like it. Now I am using the Rabacitor here. Normally I wouldn't really bother using the, pulled it off. I wouldn't really bother using those on target shells, like kind of what this is. But I figured why not? I need a little bit more actually. Make sure that's actually tight this time. It pulled it off again. But I guess that's good enough. We can go ahead and crimp that. Very nice crimp. I believe this one will be on its third or fourth firing, but guys, that crimp looks excellent. Federal Top Gun hulls usually do pretty nice. But there you go, there is a 1 1/4 ounce assembly of lead 5 shots for rabbits. You can use 6s or 4s if you want. Anything 4, 5, or 6, even 7s will do pretty dang well on rabbits and squirrels. 7.5 would also work if you're a little bit closer range, but yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't think it's going to care how big the pellet is you shoot it with, because it's going to become dinner. A mighty tasty dinner at that. If you guys have never had rabbit, it's actually pretty good. I haven't had it in a few years, but it tastes sort of like chicken. I actually think it's better than chicken. It makes a really good gravy. What we used to do with rabbit, not me and Josh, another friend of mine, when we were younger, we would bread it with breadcrumbs, a little bit of flour, and sometimes actually cornmeal too. We would pan fry it in a cast iron skillet, and when it was done, we'd throw a little bit of flour in it and some butter sometimes too. It depended on our mood that day, whatever we wanted, I guess. But yeah, we would make rabbit gravy. It was sort of, you could call it country fried chicken, but rabbit. It's pretty dang good stuff. We usually made potatoes with it too. It was sort of like fried potatoes, but little cubes of it. with onion, and that was really dang good too. I miss those times. Sure can't eat like that anymore though. I can tell you that. I've gained about 30 pounds in the last year. You guys might have noticed that I am quite a bit bigger than I used to be from the older videos, but it's coming back off. Me and my wife are back on the keto diet, so we're losing the weight slowly but surely. Yeah, we just got to get this weight off. But speaking more of the gravy and stuff, we did the same thing with squirrel. That was just as good as the rabbit, to be honest. Squirrel and rabbit are both really, really good meat protein sources. We had a lot of bacon wrapped dove breast. That was pretty good too. See, back then we used to be able to go in the woods up at his house and hunt pretty much whatever we wanted, and it's pretty good food. That was about 14 years ago. I would have been 14 or 15 years old. Really good times. I loved hunting back then. I don't get to do it as much as I want to these days, but it's pretty fun. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually not much of a deer hunter. I don't have the interest in it. Josh does, but I don't. I'm more into squirrel hunting, to be honest. That's a lot more enjoyable to me. Maybe down the line, me and Josh can make some hunting videos for you guys if you want to see that. I know he's talked about it quite a few times and has been wanting to do it, but the issue is just finding time. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about that. Anyway, I guess I've rambled on long enough. I didn't even really mean to do that. I just, sometimes I like talking to you guys. But anyway, please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you. And if you want to check out our Patreon, it's as low as $1 a month, and you guys get early access to content. A link to that, as well as a link to our Instagram, Rumble, and merch store, will be in the description below. But other than that, you guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.